Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another video for Lost Ark, and today I want to talk to you guys about our impressions. If you saw yesterday's video, then you'll know we had a chance to jump into the Korean open beta, and already, even at the very beginning of the game, it is so incredibly fun. So we thought we'd sit down today, both myself and Vestuys, and we would chat to you guys about our initial impressions. Now if you guys haven't heard of Vestuys before, he is a good friend of ours and he's now working with us on the Arekkz Gaming channel. He's been working on some of the videos you guys have already been watching, and you'll be hearing more from him in the future in upcoming videos. So today we just thought we'd sit down and chat about the early part of the game. Bear in mind, we have only just begun. We've played about sort of 5-6 hours, so we've barely started to scratch the surface, and often in kind of games like this, they start off quite slow, but already, right at the very beginning, it's already great fun. So if it starts off this well, then I cannot wait to see how much better it gets. Anyway, that's enough rambling. If you guys enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions. Let me know if there's stuff you guys would like to see or know more about. And also, if you guys haven't entered our Spider-Man PS4 Pro giveaway, you can click that link in the description box down below to enter. And of course, you can click that notification button to stay up to date every time we upload a new video. Alright, so we have been playing a fair bit of Lost Ark. Oh, I say a fair bit. I mean, we jumped off for the first time yesterday, right? And we've been playing for about, what, like 5 hours now? So, Vest, you start here. What are your initial impressions? Like, you didn't really kind of like have much prior knowledge of the game. You kind of just jumped into us. We all played as a whole squad, which is really cool. But initial impressions?
Well, first of all, it's just absolutely mind-blowingly amazing. Yeah, it's just, you know, I've always been a big fan of the Diablo series, and just to get a game so polished and so full of I don't know, like new ideas and new systems, it's just great. Like, honestly, I'm absolutely blown away, and I hope it comes to the West.
yeah, I really do. Because I think one of the nice things as well is, like, you see the trailers, right? And you see all these, like, I watched it before, and you see all the flashy moves. You know, they're launching things into the air, comboing them, doing crazy things. It's like, you can actually do that. Like, and it just feels so good because, like, everything flows. I think that's the nice thing. Like, we'll kind of get onto gameplay a little bit in a minute, but everything just flows really nicely. Like, sometimes, you know, you look at some of the bigger classes. Like, I'm running Destroyer, right? So we'll talk about our class in just a second, but I'm running Destroyer. I've got the big heavy hammer, and you kind of think it's going to be a little bit clunky, but like everything just links together so nicely. Like, you know, I'm linking from like my Q to my W to my E to my R, and it's just like, you know, I go from grouping these enemies into this big magnetic field to just like smashing them on the head and then just like launch. It just feels really good. But let's start it back. Let's kind of give it a little bit of context. So you start the game and you pick a base class. So I picked the warrior, and you picked what was your one?
I believe it's the wizard, or the awakener, I believe they call it.
Okay, right, yeah. So you pick those ones. That's kind of your base class. We start with that, and then you get to a point in the beta. We actually kind of skip forward. There's a part where you can either continue your prologue and just sort of continue to experience your base character, or you can skip forward to the part where you then get to pick your specialization, essentially. And this is where I then went Destroyer. So yeah, I'm the guy with the big hammer. I am, believe it or not, although it's kind of a tanky class, it's actually really, really good at controlling enemies as well. There's quite a few, I mean, there's a couple I haven't unlocked yet. There's a good few moves for just like controlling enemies, grouping them up into like a big like ball, and then you can of course dish out a ton of damage with that. But then you are, where did you go from there? You went to Bard, right?
That is correct, yes. So
tell us a bit about Bard.
Yeah, sure. So the Bard is the kind of resident support class in Lost Ark. Essentially, you know, just what you would expect of a Bard, just musical themed attacks based around sort of like almost support, but also AoE DPS.
Okay.
Yeah, just so essentially I was dropping heals when we needed them, but those were actually under my ultimate ability. Like, it's not something I could just do all the time. So mainly what I was doing is stuff like crowd control, slows, staggers, etc. So yeah, that was what Blood was all about, and absolutely loving it.
And what's it like? So for me, right, as someone that plays, like, you know, whether it's like ARPGs or MMOs or anything like that, I just don't like support classes. I'm sorry to anyone that is watching this. I just don't like support. I'm like, I just want to be up there in the face of the enemy, just like with a massive weapon. That's just me, right? And when you see something like Lost Ark and it's got all these kind of crazy, you know, these crazy over-the-top combos, how does it feel, conversely, to be like a support? You're playing with us, like me and TwoSix were up at the front. Like, TwoSix got a great sword, I've got a hammer, Paradise is throwing cards. Like, is support still fun to play?
Yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, you know, so being the support, I've got almost like the longest range. Like I was usually sort of like just off on the sides while you guys were in there. So it means I get to watch you guys be flashy, which is awesome. But you know, don't sleep on Bard, because honestly, Bard has some pretty flashy abilities. Like I was dropping like musical notes on people, and then like there was this my favorite one's like this musical note kind of gravity ball thing where it kind of comes down, and then like it, what's it called? No, sorry. So it starts with like it sort of like knocks everybody into the air, then it slams them down with this ball, and then the ball's kind of like a black hole, and it begins like crushing them. It's so awesome. Like, absolutely love it. Yeah,
kind of like Zarya from Overwatch sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. So what's it called? Yeah, no, like absolutely loving playing the support. I may not be doing as much damage as you guys, but just being able to sort of like help you guys get your damage off, and to just kind of just see all the, you know, pretty lights is just brilliant. Yeah, so.
No, that's true. I mean, no, and it is incredible, especially when we start getting to the later stuff. Like, we're early game right now, so, you know, a lot of the early game you can just kind of face roll through, but as we start to get to the tougher dungeons, we are going to fully need that support, so that's, you know,
for sure.
It's good to have that on the team. But, so speaking a bit about kind of general gameplay, so for those people that are kind of watching it, obviously, you know, it's in Korean open beta right now, so, you know, it's not widely accessible, but it's very easy to pick up, right? So combat-wise, you have your tray at the bottom, and you have abilities mapped to Q, W, E, and R, and then A, S, D, and F. You also have like a special ability on Z, but largely what you see in the tray at the bottom are your moves, and you kind of, you know, the moves you kind of get given to begin with, they initially kind of combo through, but then there's also, as you go through and you upgrade skill points, there's I think they call it the tripod system, so you basically spend points into your skills, and then once you spend a certain amount of points, you can then augment that skill or change that skill a little bit to give you some different abilities. So, you know, one of the ones that I've got, like I've just got my generic hammer smash. It does pretty good damage, and I've obviously changed that now so I can imbue that with, I think it's sort of like dark energy. Bear in mind, some of this is sort of I'm using Google Translate to change this, but like I think it's sort of like dark energy, and that gives me like 15% crit chance on my hammer hit, I believe.
Oh wow.
Versus like an earth attack, which I think is just like a flat attack increase. So, and it changes the way it looks as well. You know, I've either got like this massive purple energy, I've got this sort of like brown earth looking energy. So yeah, I mean, and then obviously as you know, as we progress, as we kind of hit new levels, we obviously got like new abilities. So mine, I do really like mine. I will say that like quite a few of my abilities as you start to go, I mean, I haven't unlocked all of them, but quite a few of the, like, the initial ones, they do start to look somewhat familiar. I mean, I've basically got various permutations of a big hammer smash. Like I've either got like a big overhead smash, I've got a triple smash, I've got like a jump in the air. But what about you? Like how is there like a fair bit of variety in your moves, or? Yeah,
totally. So what's it called? One of the kind of big ones that I've been sort of privy to at the minute is so I'm not sure if you remember, I've got this ability where essentially I kind of like float in the air for a second and I like push everybody back, basically. It's sort of like a defensive ability. Well, essentially, you know, using the tripod upgrades and stuff, like I can do all sorts with that. I can, you know, make it so it casts longer, etc. Kind of, you know, stuff that would be obvious, but kind of what I'm trying to race for, just to help you guys, is the third permutation. You can choose between either making it better, so it just like pushes things back further, does more damage, or I can make it so that it's got a wider area of effect and it applies a shield to everybody for 3 or 4 seconds. Yeah, so it's like I can turn this sort of like defensive cooldown into a sort of more defensive thing for everybody, essentially. So yeah, it's just really cool. There's some really good variety in the Bard abilities for sure. Yeah,
definitely. No, so yeah, so there's obviously a fair amount of stuff we kind of still got to go. You know, we're pretty early level. We played for a good like 5 hours yesterday. We're about level like 16, so you know we've still got a fair way to go before we get all of our core abilities. So we're going to jump in again today and hopefully get some more progress on that. But we ran through a couple of dungeons, so you know, like general kind of open world stuff. You know, you're wandering around these worlds. The worlds look really cool. Like visually, the game looks fantastic, and obviously when you kind of see all the abilities tying together, it just looks really, really nice.
It's insane.
But then when we're exploring the world, you know, kind of like the early areas, the kind of standard sort of thing. You know, we're in like a greeny area. We've got some like some basic enemies, but then we kind of dive into a couple of dungeons, and like these dungeons are, I mean, they're still really cool because obviously they really do see everyone working together, but the initial ones we're fighting, like at the beginning, you know, we have kind of worked our way through the very basic dungeons, right? So our first one, I kind of call it like our training dungeon. Then the second one we fought, we actually uploaded yesterday, so if you guys haven't seen that, you can check that out on the channel. We actually fought like a slightly tougher boss, but what I'm super looking forward to is kind of the stuff that I'm hoping we're going to sort of hit like today or this weekend, because there's so much content in Lost Ark, right? And this is where I definitely want to bring you guys some more videos as well, because there are things they call like cinematic dungeons. So they're actually like dungeons where, you know, part way through like the camera will shift, you'll follow like a little cutscene and there'll be like parts that are falling apart. We saw that in the trailer. There's also, I believe they're called Guardian missions, and that's essentially like, this is one thing, if you guys are watching this and you're Monster Hunter fans, there's a lot of nods to Monster Hunter in this game. I mean, one of the classes that I could have gone to from the Warrior, I believe it's called the Warlord, he basically has a gun lance, which is just nuts, right? Like he's got a gun lance with some chains. He even has a back hop like the gun lance. And the Guardian missions are basically like Monster Hunter missions. You go in and instead of like fighting all the typical dungeon waves, you've basically just got one monster you need to hunt down, and you've got a time limit to take it out. So there's that. Obviously there's like raids, there's PvP, there's like so much stuff that we really want to do. So like, what are you like? What sort of things are you hoping to kind of hit up next, Vest? Like, what would you really want to be doing in this game?
I don't know. Like, I've always been a sort of like a big PvP fanatic.
Okay.
So I'd love to try. I know that there's like one-on-one, which of course as a bard I probably wouldn't fare too great in. However, I've heard the kind of like 4v4 PvP is quite interesting, and that interests me because obviously playing bard and stuff, I can just imagine like these crazy combos, like where like, you know, like you and 2Six are like locking down people, and then you've got like me and Paradise out on the side. Like I'm kind of like trying to like kind of keep all them all together, and then Paradise is like licking off like some huge kind of like card combo or something. Like that excites me definitely. I mean, the cinematic stuff as well though. The cinematic dungeons look absolutely amazing. Like,
yeah,
I cannot wait to step into our first one for that, because that is just going to be brilliant. Like, that is going to be so good. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's fair to say, like right now, I mean, that's kind of sort of like our initial impressions, like from our first like 5 kind of hours sort of jump into the game. It is like, we're having a ton of fun. There is a lot of stuff to do. I'm not entirely sure right now how long the closed beta is running for, and obviously I'm not sure, you know, how far we can go just yet. But I'm pretty sure there is I've seen a sort of few people streaming. I think there's a fair amount of content for us to kind of run through. So I'm definitely keen to push forward on that. And I'll probably, you know, what we'll probably do at some point is like sit down and chat to you guys more so once we've done some like high level gameplay to give you guys an idea as to like what you're seeing right now is early game, and then we can kind of chat more so once we've kind of got to the end of the game and just been like, oh, you know, not necessarily the end of the game, but further into the game to give you guys an idea as to some of the other stuff you can do. But initial impressions are super positive. Gameplay flows really nicely. It looks great. It plays great. I just really hope we get it in the West. For sure.
Anyway, for the time being, that's it. If you guys enjoyed this, then don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to check out the video we uploaded yesterday if you want some more dungeon gameplay. I'll also bring you guys some more gameplay this weekend if you want to see more from this. And of course, you'll be hearing more from Vestuys on the channel very soon as well.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch 269 and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the end game store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here, but once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.